Real far. That's all right. What we are is a train club. We're a bunch of guys that in 1973 got together. Most of them were engineers with Western Electric and that type, and started the club. Originally set up down here in the depot that's in operation right now. And we've been, like I said, around here ever since. We have, on average, we keep about 50 members in the club. All the trains, the systems have changed tremendously over the years. They've gone from the old style that you crank up the throttle, they go faster. Now everything's computerized and digitally controlled, so it's a new world for everybody. In 2019, December of 2019, we decided we needed to rebuild our layouts because they'd been around for a while. And, we were spending more money maintaining them than it would cost to build a new one. So December we tore them out, and of course, come 2020, you know what happened? COVID hit, and that's when we started rebuilding. And we're kind of over the hump. We've got most of it rebuilt now, but.
And this is what these designs are for?
Yeah,
right
those
here?
are basic designs. The gentleman that designed the N scale, which is this one, is not here, but we collaborated on it. And the HO, which is the big layout, I designed this one. And what you see is just a basic layout and a lot of placeholders.
Now, what type of program do you use to lay all this out?
There's probably half a dozen different CAD programs out there that are directed towards railroad, and this was done with a program called AnyRail. And there's 2 or 3 other really good ones. Most you can get them free, or you can pay a little bit and get the complete version.
Right, the plus model.
Right. Just like everything else.
Yeah. So what does it take? I mean, how much time did you have to spend just in running out this scale and figuring out what you wanted? And I guess there's some cost production you have to go through.
I was able to do all this at home on my computer. I was an engineer by trade, so I had the CAD programs, and I just went in there and pulled them off the internet, and I was used to using them, so I did that. Larry did this one, but so basically no cost in that. The cost came building the layouts because there's a complete bench work underneath all this that you can't see all the time, and that's a lot of lumber and stuff like that. There's probably $40,000 in these 2 layouts right now, and we're not even finished yet. So
now you talked about your trade. What did you engineer when you're in your trade? What were you working on?
I was in basically in environment, civil engineering, but we designed and permitted landfills. I was the guy nobody liked. I spent more time going to communities, and you had a lot of people had that NIMBY attitude, not in my backyard. And I understand that, but quite honestly, I'd rather have a subtitle D landfill next to me than I would a Walmart.
Wow. Now you talked about the cost. What is it that would cost somebody? Is it the track? Is it the trains? Is it
all of it? And the cost from the time we've even started building to now, the cost of just probably tripled, just because of the COVID around, and transportation becomes issues, supply became an issue, turnouts that are on a layout, which is where you switch from one track to another or go to a siding. When I purchased the original and we're doing the makeup for the budget, they were about $18, $19 a piece. Well, they're $38 and $40 a piece now. Track's gone from, I could get it for $3 for a 3-foot long strip, so it's almost $10 for a 3-foot long strip now. So that's just the way the prices, and everything's like that. The trains themselves have gone from, $150 to get you a wonderful locomotive. Today that locomotive is $300. It's a tough hobby to get started in now because it's expensive. I mean, it's just really expensive, this hobby. I used to play golf all the time, and I thought that was an expensive hobby, but I found out different.
Now, for this, do you have a membership here? Are there fees?
Yeah, members pay a annual fee, which is $200 a year to be a member, and that gets you a key to the door, and literally you can come in here 24/7. Once you've learned the layout. Your first year, you're what we call an associate member, and you have to be here for somebody else, a regular member then. And, you know, once you get used to the system, how everything's turned on and off and all that stuff, then, you know, you get your key, and then, like I say, you can come in here at 3 in the morning if you want to.
So somebody has to kind of guide you to
Right.
how things work.
We kind of have a year-long, we don't like to call it a probation period, we call it a get-to-know-you period, both of us.
Let's talk about the train show coming up. I believe it's the 23rd and 24th of March.
Yes, 23rd and 24th of March. It will be at the Lewis Recreation Center here in Greensboro. I believe it's 9 to 5 both days. Now, what's there is we'll have probably 100 plus vendor tables. These are people that sell different things that deal with model railroads, all scales, anywhere from Z all the way up through G, which is what's called a garden railroad. And they'll be selling stuff there. We'll have people that comes up, like I'll probably have a table or two there myself, just selling stuff. I got so much trains, I need to get rid of some.
How many vendors do you have from this thing?
There should be somewhere around 50 or so vendors. I mean, 'cause some of them get 10 or 12 tables. Like I said, there's everything there from people that sell tools to work with model railroads. There's a vendor there that sells shirts and T-shirts with all the railroad logos on them, that type of thing. There are people in there that would sell lamps they've made with railroad insignias on them. And then, of course, there's mostly are the people there that are selling the models themselves.
Is this a 2-day event, all day?
2-day event, like I said, 9 to 5 both days. There's a $10 charge. If you take one of our flyers, you get $2 off, and that's good for both days. So, children, I think it's 12 and under, are free. And it's just a good time for all. We will have, I think, 3 different layouts set up in there from other clubs and stuff like that, so they can come in and actually see layouts running, HO and N-scale both.
And obviously you'll have, people can sign up, be members, things like that too.
They certainly can. We take members anytime somebody wants to join. We encourage young people to join it. Probably the average age right now with railroad modelers is probably around 50 years old, and that's pretty high. And we love to see younger kids, not only kids, but young adults too, get in the hobby.
It's an expensive hobby.
Yes, it is, most definitely. I personally probably own somewhere around 300 locomotives and about 500 or 600 what we call rolling stock, the freight cars. And I guess I'm trying to figure out whether I was a model collector or a hoarder first. I don't know which one came first.
I think those are interchangeable.
Yes. This will probably be the only operating facility that's really not in this area, because that's going to be a large paper mill right there. When I come in, or any other member comes in to run his trains, you come back here, you set your train up back here in what we call the staging area, and then you bring it out on the mains.
So this is like testing right here, testing a new model or something like that.
It's a place to build your train.
Oh, build,
out of the
okay.
way, put it together.
I got you.
Sometimes you can pull a 100-car train in here. It's really too big for this layout. But
Yeah.
The engines will pull them. We usually like to limit things to around 2 engines and 20 cars, so they'll fit on all the sidings. And that's pretty much what you're seeing right there.
Now, did you buy these from a show, or are they custom made?
What's that?
The cars.
The cars, these are bought
Okay.
directly from the manufacturer. Now, you'll see some as we move around, they're what we call weathered. They look like they've been in the weathered dirt. They got graffiti on them.
Yeah.
Now, the people like me or somebody, we do that ourselves to the cars.
Make it real deal.
If you want to, we'll head back and just kind of follow
Sure.
the track around.
Now, how long does it take to put a track set together?
We've been at it now. We're starting in our 5th year of building this layout.
Wow.
Now the layout, all the tracks there, it all operates. You can run trains no problem, but we're still putting in scenery and buildings and stuff like that. This is interesting. This would be Gulf, North Carolina. It's the old clay pits down there, if you remember that.
Right.
And Southern used to go down there and haul that clay to Greensboro to promote a pipe product, which we're going to build right over here. And they made terracotta pipe. If you remember the old red sewer pipe that you could look at and it would break. That's how they got the clay to Greensboro. We try to do realistic. We were working, we got construction equipment out here doing grading.
Oh, I see the graffiti.
As he goes around, like I said, going into Liberty, he's going to work his way back up through into Greensboro here. We've got some industries that have been around. Like I said, Stockhausen's been here for a long time. The little green tank cars right there is what used to be Carolina Byproducts, which was owned by a local family. Now it's some conglomerate. Part of what we did on this layout, the bridges, most of them are scratch built. This one right here, we actually saved from our old original layout, and we're able to use it here.
Got a bridge and everything on there.
Yeah. That's what I say. We've got more highways to build across part of this layout and everything. They're going to put a drive-in theater in right here.
Nice.
And you'll actually be able to stick about an 8-inch tablet in there, and you could actually run movies on it. As you can see, this is the old Carolina Byproducts, which was a Greensboro company. Long since bought out.
The sheets are over there, like 22nd through 24th.
These buildings, if we get him back up here.
So do you like the big trains, and do you ride much, or?
Yeah, I've been on a few excursions. Like I said before, they had the regime change here. I used to do ride-alongs even on Norfolk Southern. I do them on ACW every so often.
Do they still run the one from Marion up to Irvine, Tennessee in the leaf season? Or?
No, I don't think so, but they do run. The Great Smoky Mountains runs out of Dillsboro and runs up to Murphy, I guess. So that I don't know how far they go though.
I was telling him on the way up here, he needed to take his wife up there and see the where they had the biggest staged train wreck ever for the fugitive.
Yeah, those trains are still there.
Yeah.
The engines are still there. Well, they're empty shells. But
Yeah,
it's funny they didn't make them clean that up.
I know.
Laying
Well,
there next to the Tuskegee River. This over here, this road is really represents. You're talking about South Greensboro. This represents Old Elm Street on the other side of what used to be Lee Street,
Gotcha.
Gate City Boulevard. That's the old trestle that's down there. Work its way out. A couple of members here, Jake and Nate.
Jay, how you doing?
How are you?
Howdy.
John Graham,
Pleasure to meet you.
good to see you.
This is
It's a lot of rolling stock there.
this is our Pomona yard.
Wow.
Like I said, counting mains and everything else out at the real Pomona, there's 27 tracks. We were only able to get basically 20 of them in there. When everything really operates out of here. If we do op sessions, the locals run out of here going west or going east. Asheville up there, they run out of there and come down east. And if we walk around, you can see all that.
I was going to say I was able to film down here from this other side, but I wasn't able to film this.
Here's the Davie Street Bridge.
Wow.
That's a scratch built by a member who since retired and he just don't get out anymore.
Man, that
I mean,
is,
he made the mold to do all this work,
that's beautiful.
and we saved that off our layout we tore down.
That is beautiful.
Your old Greensboro will be in this area.
Yeah.
You remember the old A&P?
Yeah,
You sit right there.
Ashboro Street,
I
yeah.
actually have a kit that I'm kit bashing that I'm gonna make it the old Atlantic Pacific Tea Company.
My dad worked for A&P for 41 years. And he ran a store in Gastonia, and it was, now people don't even know what A&P is.
Yeah, that's true. Elm Street is gonna run right through here. This will be North Greensboro, South Greensboro. Your building you're talking about would be sitting right here. Like I said, you can see this DCC digital command and control. You can see everything. We have 3 control panels here. We broke it up in blocks so that it's easier to track down a problem. But rather than have to look on the whole layout, one block's going to be the
Yeah, I
problem.
heard that, boy. Shut everything down just for one problem.
Right, you can see all the electronics and everything that's involved in this. Like I
We're
said,
coming a
there's
long
3 of
way from twisting one little lever to make it
Oh,
move.
yeah, well, there's a set of signals right there.
Wow.
That we're in the process of installing signals now. Now, when you install the signal, which are set right here, it's going to have, we're going to add another little road because it's going to be the Elm signal, which is up there now. It'll be a replica of that. Not only that, you have to have what they call a signal control module for every signal hit on there. So you have to build a board. And on this one, when we get done, we'll have 9 of them on there. And then they go to an interlocking device and everything. So it gets, the installation of this one signal right here will probably be in the $300 range. The depot, we've still got to have it 3D printed. It's going to sit right here, the operating depot down here. That's just a placeholder sitting there. And that's the old Greensboro will be up and down through here. Like I said, we have to truncate a lot of stuff, but we only have so much space.
Now, there's one other thing I do want to get is
Oh, we
the,
got Nate area right here.
Yeah.
Barney and his gun.
it looks like he's arresting Floyd the barber.
Yeah.
But the larger trains that run on the larger track.
Yeah.
What is that? What?
Okay, the scale up above this is what everybody remembers
Right.
when we were kids growing
Right.
up. It's the O gauge.
Okay.
It had 3 rails because it picked up power from the middle rail. Obviously, we don't do that anymore. Now, every bit of this track's what's called flex track. Each piece is 3 foot long. So you can imagine how much track went into building this place. You got a road bed that went down underneath it, which is a cork road bed. And then you put the track down, and then you have to ballast it. Now, we not only ballast it, but we weather all the ties and rust all the rail.
Wow.
Which is taking a paintbrush and painting every bit of that rail on the sides.
Well, I did love the fact that you had graffiti over on the Pomona Yard trains.
Yeah, all that stuff's pretty much weathered. Yeah, you can't let a car sit long. The other trains have the EOT devices on them, just like on a real train.
I miss the caboose, though.
You know, the caboose put 3 men out of business. There used to be 5-man crews when you had cabooses. Now there's 2-man crews. That EOT took the place of a caboose and 3 people. Now it communicates with the train via wireless. And sometimes they'll get, a lot of our trains here go to Roanoke.
Yeah.
And when they're going up the Old Virginia line up there, going through the tunnel, sometimes they'll lose contact with the EOT on the other end. When it does that, they got to stop
Wow.
and go back and check the train,
Yeah.
make sure it's okay, and then they can go on.
I remember going in Irwin, Tennessee, going inside the control room. This would have been probably 71, 72. And a guy had a big, like as long as a broom handle with almost, with like a thing on the end of it where you could reach up and turn switches. It was that,
Yeah.
you know,
Now these switches right here have what's called a tortoise, which is a motor that drives them. And you're running your train with a hand throttle, you can change the switches with the throttle. Now in the yards, you'll see they all have ground throws. You actually have to throw those by hand, just like in a real yard. Okay, coming out of Greensboro, this is the pig yard here in Greensboro, the
Right.
intermodal yard. This would be Merritt Drive, which is right at the end of it.
wow.
This is where the auto auctions are. This would be the,
Tank farm.
that's the hot asphalt.
Okay.
That's all liquid asphalt there. And then the ethanol facility is where all these are.
Okay.
Yeah, all this is out at the airport.
Gotcha.
In fact, this is called Friendship Siding, just like the one out there. And we've still got we work off of Google
Okay,
Photos and
I know where I
everything.
am now.
Yep, that's the first builder's first choice. That's National Pipe and Plastics. Now, this is Market Street coming out through here. Again, these are kits that have been kit bashed and made into something they weren't to start with. This is going to be Colfax right in here. I'm going to have Colfax gun and ammo because that's where I buy my gun. This is going to represent Winston-Salem, Campbelltown. When we get done, that's the old R.J. Reynolds
Oh
tobacco
yeah.
plant.
That's now Wake Forest.
Yeah. Whoops, excuse me, sorry. Part of downtown Greece is just sitting here. Not all of them will be used.
Right.
But just to show you the rivers, these big bridges that's a scratch-built bridge. It's not a kit. The rivers, we pour these rivers, do all this work. And it's really an acrylic type. It sets up usually overnight. This would be the Yadkin River. And after you leave in Winston, and you end up getting to Statesville, which is right here.
Right.
And that Bartlett Milling is actually in Statesville. And it's still operating today.
Wow. That's what you need right here.
They take grain in here. Most of this is kit bashed.
That is amazing. I mean, that is truly
When we get
amazing.
to the other side here, you'll see, I'll show you some marble detail. Scrap yard, one of our members built that. This is just going to be a farm, the field. Interesting, the plowed field, you know how you make it?
Yeah.
You take cardboard and peel one side off, that's the corrugations in the cardboard.
Wow.
If you get up through here again, we have to shorten it up. This is Hickory. This would be the Catawba River. We hadn't poured the water in here yet. This is Sure Tape, which is an operating industry up in Hickory. Again, all this is kit bashed or made from scratch off of the photos we got. Then you have a little community area. The street lights and everything, they work. We can actually turn them on. As you move on up, we get
Some
some
nice
Asheville.
pen stuff in it.
This would be the Asheville area. This would be the French Broad River when it's put in. It's going to be a power plant sitting in here. The road will go across and tie into a road over here, and this track will come on across to there and tie in. All this will be cut down where you can see this. It'll be plexiglass in here, same on the other side. This is a small replica of the Asheville yard. We've got one member, this is his yard. He wants everybody to stay out of it. He operates out of here. And he's actually a conductor for Norfolk Southern.
Have you ever been up to Andrews Geyser?
Yes,
Yeah. That's a,
this is actually my train sitting here. As you can see, these were Walther's cars. They're ready to roll. They come already built and everything. But they weathered them and built the loads for them, scrap loads.
look like they've just shrunk them.
Up here, when we get it, again, it's going to be a 3D printed model. That's going to be a sawmill logging operation, and it generate wood chips, which you see all the wood chip haulers. It will go to the paper plant, what I told you about down here.
Were you going to add the odor to the paper plant?
We hadn't figured out how to do that quite yet. This bridge is actually coming out. It's gonna be replaced by a new steel trestle, mainly because this thing, it really don't fit our radius. This came from another layout and it's falling apart.
Well, it reminds me of the bridge on the River Kwai.
If you went all the way up to Colorado, you know where Western Carolina University is at?
Yes, sir.
I did my undergraduate work there. This would be Glenville Lake up at the cashier's area.
Yep.
That's just going to be the hotel up there. And it will flow down the Tuskegee River and eventually come across right here. And then you enter back into the Ashland area. These little shrubs and bushes right here, they're handmade. I got them from a company in Germany. The hard part about them was it took forever to get them. And that's pretty much us here. That's just the
Well,
backside. of the
let's
station.
walk around the backside, get some roll on that.
I'll show you something real quick. It's a donation.
Okay. That
Believe
needs
it
to
or
be
not,
on your way out of here.
This would be right front door, yeah. We actually have it set up right here. Watch this train come by. This will light up, this will light up, and it'll tell you in scale miles how fast it's going. You should see a red light trip on right there.
Yeah.
And then this one will come on. Yep, 50.
53 miles an hour.
That's scale miles off.
Yeah.
So that's the front side of those housing areas. This will be the Hickory Depot when it's finished. This is actually a kit called the Pella Depot. It's a Western depot that our kit bashed to put in here, and it looks just like the one that's up there when we get done with it. You see all the detail.
Wow.
These buildings are kits themselves. You have to put them together completely, but none of the detail comes with it.
You
So
make them what you want them to do.
our members, several of our members have done various buildings here. And then we put the roads in, put the lights in. Getting the traffic off the sky. Here, you see that? Look at the detail. See the arc welder, the welding shop working?
Wow. That's detail.
The gentleman standing over there with the gray hair on the far side, Gary's his name. I would call him a master modeler. I mean, he's that good. He built this without my knowledge. I'm super, and he put
I
my
didn't know
name as
you
Ken.
repair tractors.
Me and a friend actually did that as a hobby. We could get old tractors and rebuild them. So I come in here one day and that's sitting on the layout.
Boy, I tell you, I had a Ford 3000, and that's the best truck. Of course, it replaced an old Alice Chalmers CA.
And this is pretty much the end of the layout. It just starts back around.
So they don't have any more, period, the wide track.
Oh yeah, you can still get those scales.
Okay.
We just happen to be an HO modeler and an N-scale modeler.
Okay.
Now, if you want, let's go up. I'm going to turn it over to a guy, Jim Maitland, up here with the N-scale, because they're going to pout.
Okay. I got you.
We cover a lot of miles in a small area, really.
No kidding.
Yeah, if you looked up under here, you would there's miles of wiring under this layout. So your throttles, you plug them in right here. They hook to what's called a LocoNet system. And you can operate either plugged in, or we also have a wireless thing. You can actually use your cell phone if you get the app and you can run your train.